stocks. But let's connect with Abneesh Roy, then Executive Director, Nuvama Institutional Equities. He tracks Zee Entertainment very closely to understand now what the road ahead is for the company, given that the mega media merger has been called off. And I'm going to start off, Abneesh, morning by reading the header to your note, which says a painful end to an overstretched drama. Given that now the merger has been terminated, what do you believe, A, are the potential reasons, and B, the road ahead?
Thanks, and definitely this stock will be under huge pressure today. There have been a lot of downgrades. We also downgraded. It was a 0-1 event. So three key things. Definitely we see this stock testing below 200 in the near term because it goes back to the pre-merger kind of valuation, which was around 12-13 times PE multiple. And second is there is an uncertainty in terms of the legal cases because Sony and Zee both have filed legal case and that will be heard in the Singapore courts. So there is a bit of uncertainty on that. And near-term results also will not be great. Q3, the results we have already put out in terms of preview. So there will be margin pressure and OTT losses. Now coming to reasons, in our view, Puneet being the MD and CEO was not the main issue. In our view, it was basically 2 years time frame had happened. The industry dynamics is changing because this Viacom and Disney Star are looking at a deal. Post that, what will happen? Their combined market share will become almost 35% plus. And Sony is hardly 7-8% market share. So Sony has become very small. So maybe Sony headquarters thought that with such a small market share and even if they combine with Zee, so 7% plus 16%, which is Zee's market share, it becomes around 23% market share versus Viacom plus Disney Star at 35% plus. Plus the IPL rights, sports rights, etc. very strongly resides with Viacom and Disney Star. So that could be the reason. Second, of course, in our view, there is a gap in decision-making in Sony, given their decision-making happens from US and Japan offices. In the past, we have also seen that IPO and some of the other merger with Sony India was planning did not go through. So basically, India business for Sony is very small. It's a few decimal points. So that is why the 2-year time frame, etc., definitely was very long. And then they realized that the industry is becoming tougher. In our view, the Russia issue or the Puneet issue, those were very minor issues. And Puneet anyway was willing to forfeit and go and not be as the MD and CEO. So in our view, that was not the thing. So near term, it's negative for both companies. In our view, Zee is an attractive option for any strategic or a financial investor from medium long term, given it is the second largest media company of India, which is a growing market. So net near term pain will be there, but uncertainty is there. So anyone who wants to buy the stock after today's sharp fall or the near term sharp fall has to live through the uncertainty of the legal issues, which I said, $90 million of the Sony in the Singapore court. Second, of course, is what happens in terms of the minority stakeholders. Obviously, they'll be very disappointed with the turn of the events because 2 years they have waited and then finally when all approvals have come, the deal doesn't go through. So what do minority shareholders do? In our view, they will be looking at some kind of a change. We would need to see what is the uncertainty on that. So these are the reasons anyone looking to buy today has to buy from 1 to 2 years. There is going to be volatility in terms of news flow, plus there will be a lot of uncertainty also. But medium long term, this is an attractive asset for strategic financial investor. So the current valuations will be low because of the uncertainty, but long term things could improve if they can really get a tie-up. Why do they need a tie-up? They need a tie-up for the OTT and the sports business. Otherwise, if you see, it's almost like a 350 crore net cash company. And for the entertainment business, they are quite sorted. But yes, for the OTT and for the sports, they do need investments, which a financial or strategic investor can provide. So that's how it will pan out.
But, Abneesh, the biggest issue, prima facie, also seemed to be the issue of appointment of Puneet Goenka. What happens that? Because it seems that it's pretty much a no-go there. It seems like minority shareholders are already looking to approach the regulator now to have him ousted so that the merger at least has a fair chance of going through peacefully, if at all that would be the case.
So there are two things. One is this merger, I don't think Puneet being the MD and CEO or not was the main issue. That Z has clarified also in the BSE filing yesterday. And if you see earlier also, when the SEBI's ongoing investigation was happening, Puneet had said again and again that he being there or not there, the merger has to happen. So in the worst case scenario, he had already told to Sony that you can look for another MD and CEO. That is our understanding. Now, coming to your second part, in terms of minority shareholders, yes, at a 4% kind of a shareholding in the company, it's a very low shareholding for a promoter. So yes, the minority shareholders would look to definitely take some action. We'll need to wait what they do in terms of the board, what they want to do in terms of bringing any probable partner. Those things they would like to evaluate, right? Because 2 years the merger did not happen, and so it's a 4% kind of a holding. The promoters have a very low holding. So yes, minority shareholders would like to do, but we also need to see whether they are very fragmented, whether they can act together. Those issues can also happen. So that's another bit of uncertainty which is also going to be there. So how the concerted action happens or not, that we would need to see in terms of the board and in terms of the partner and in terms of the CEO. So those are the things the market will be waiting in terms of development.
Have you on board. Thanks very much, Abneesh, for explaining to us your assessment of the merger being called off between Z and Sony. All right, let's move right on. And the pre-open rates coming in on your screen.